The opinions expressed in the following programs are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect those of Rogers nor Rogers TV.
Vítam vás pri sledovaní novembrového Slovak spektra. Výnimočné teplé jesenné dni sa prehúpli do zasneženej bieloty a pomaly sa ani nenazdáme a budú tu Vianoce. Avšak najskôr sa musíme pozrieť, čo sa dialo v mesiaci novembri. Simona a Vivien Sásové zahviezdili v novom televíznom seriáli s názvom How I Got Here. Z ostredí ich 10-dňového výletu na Slovensko si okrem televízneho premietania mohli diváci pozrieť aj v Mayfair divadle v Ottave v sobotu 5. novembra. A bolo tam aj Slovak Spektrum s kamerou.
Welcome. I really wanted to thank you for coming on this beautiful summer November day, and I appreciate your time. I would like to introduce a very special guest with us today. It's His Excellency, Ambassador to Slovakia, Vít Koziak.
Dobrý deň všetkým. Good afternoon. I'm very happy to be here as ambassador of Slovakia to Canada. Actually, I'm very happy to be here at this wonderful presentation, I would say, of Slovak culture and beauty of Slovakia. And we have very unique, very rich culture, full of traditions, full of beautiful songs, full of beautiful folklore dresses like this. This is just one of many that you can find in Slovakia. No, we don't wear them every day when we walk on the streets, but we used to. And when you saw a beautiful dress like this, you could say where that person is from. So it was recognizable only by the dress, and you could also say how the people in that concrete region, whether they were rich or they were poor, depending on how rich the costume was. We got together 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we spoke about this How I Got Here, this episode. I was completely taken by emotions that Simona expressed on the production of all the series, and I'm very happy to be here. I would like to thank you for being such a proud Slovak Canadian. I would like to thank the cinema that allowed us to have this presentation here, and I would like to thank all of you who chose to be in the cinema when we have such an unusually warm winter in Canada. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so very much. What a beautiful introduction. And I don't know what else to say, but you captured everything. I just probably will just go back a little bit, because I know some people were asking how really we got here, with how I got here. We applied for, somebody sent me an email in November 2020 showing this casting call, and the person has known me for 30 years. She says, Simona, when I saw it, I thought about you and Vivien, you should go for it. And we looked at it and I thought, oh, why not? Let's give it a shot. So fast forward around 6 months later, we went through various stages of interviews and casting and calls and all this. And we got a wonderful news that we were chosen. So we were very happy, but because of COVID, we didn't know when we were going to travel. So the travel date was postponed several times. And then finally, in August 2021, it was a go. So we traveled to Slovakia with a 10 or 12 member film crew. This is a very, very different experience than we had ever done. And traveled, it was a whirlwind tour of East Slovakia, and amazing experience. However, throughout going, it was the most wonderful part of it, it was that I was with my daughter, Vivian, and through her eyes, I could see how much more she understands what it means to be Slovak, what the Slovak traditions and culture, and what her heritage really is.
My name is Vivian Sosova. I would describe myself as someone that's very positive. I'm very social, fun to be around with. I love to be outside. I love golf. I love fishing. I consider myself like really Canadian. But my mom is from Slovakia. It's only me and my mom in Canada. We're our little family. I would describe my mom as...
Best mom ever?
No, not kidding. Yeah, super cool mom. Active, funny, outgoing, outspoken, independent.
Ahoj Katka, tak ako sa ti páčil film? Poznáš Simonu osobne a aké boli tvoje prvé dojmy?
Tak som dosť emocionálne to bolo. Simonku poznám. Simonku som stretla pred veľa rokmi na jednej party úplne náhodne. Obidvaja so Simonkou pracujeme pre federálnu vládu, tak sme sa stretli. A toto bolo znovu také milé spojenie opäť. Sme sa stretli po mnohých rokoch cez tento dokument. A veľmi som, ako som povedala, it touched my heart, dotklo sa ma to, dosť to rezonovalo, pretože nie len to, že a ja aj Simonka sme v približne rovnakej generácii, obidve máme dievčatá, ktoré sa narodili v Kanade a veľa vecí, cez ktoré prešla Simonka, som prešla aj ja. A skákanie na gume a chodenie po horách, takisto ako ona. A dosť ma to inšpirovalo v tom, že takéto niečo chcem urobiť aj pre moju dcerku.
Bol to naozaj veľmi emocionálny príbeh. And what do you think, Ellen? Did you like the movie? Have you visited Slovakia?
It brought back so many memories of the times that Katerina brought me over to Slovakia. We've taken that rafting trip and climbed some of the mountains and the castles. And I'm so thankful that Katerina has taken time to teach our daughter to speak Slovak. I'm the only liability in the family. And it's wonderful to see her interact with her babi and dedo.
Thank you so much.
Ďakujeme.
Dobrý deň, pani Jelenka. Ďakujeme pekne, že ste prišli pozrieť sa na tento krásny film. Aké sú vaše dojmy a čo vás spája so Simonkou?
Moje dojmy sú úžasné. Bola som veľmi dojatá s celou prezentáciou a s krásou nášho rodného Slovenska. Spravili to naozaj na úrovni. Som hrdá na našu krajinu, v ktorej sme prežili mladosť. Pripomína nám to tiež náš spoločný život s mojím manželom, keď sme sem prišli bez ničoho, s našimi deťmi, ktoré už mali určitý vek, 11 a 17 rokov, ale aj napriek tomu sme sa dokázali prebiť a dosiahnuť maximum, čo sme mohli dosiahnuť viac ako v našej rodnej krajine.
Ďakujeme pekne za rozhovor. So thank you so much for coming for the screening of How I Got Here film. So what's your opinion? How did you like the film?
I loved it. I thought it was, I'm a bit sentimental, so I enjoyed the sentimentality of it and them sort of rediscovering themselves and their relationship, and also the scenery. Super beautiful. I've only been to Bratislava, so I hadn't really seen much of Slovakia.
So, Peter, what's your connection to the family? Do you know Simona personally?
I do. Simona and I worked together in the Federal Public Service some years ago, and we stayed in touch, and she's a wonderful person, and to learn so much about her own background and her family life. And I thought it was very well done. And so I'm really happy to have seen it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Experience and very emotional film. And chcem ešte raz ako poďakovať obidvom vám, že ste sa dali na tento projekt a keď nám môžete povedať niečo bližšie ešte viacej o tom, o celej tej skúsenosti, čo to pre vás znamenalo.
Ďakujem, že ste to pozerali a že ste to s nami precítili. Áno, je to veľmi, veľmi citové a ja som veľmi rada, že sme mali tú príležitosť, lebo ako som hovorila, každý má nejakú tú skúsenosť alebo ten príbeh, ako sa dostali do Kanady a ja som bola veľmi, veľmi šťastná, že som mohla povedať ten svoj. A taktiež, že som ho mohla povedať svojej dcére, ktorá to nikdy neprežila, ani nikdy by niečo také nemohla už prežiť. A taktiež som veľmi bola rada, že som mohla ukázať krásy Slovenska a prežiť to tiež s ňou. Že sme videli krásne Tatry, od Dunajca po Prešov. No hlavne na vrchole všetkého boli tie kroje. Ako ste videli, dúfam, že sa páčilo. No nám sa veľmi to páčilo.
Môžem povedať aj ja, že ja som narodená v Kanáde a to bola taká časť, čo som nevedela. Taká veľká časť zo mňa, čo som sa naučila a čo som vôbec ani nevedela, že to mám v sebe. Takže to tak sa mi oči otvorili, že ja som Slovenka a že tak máme toľko vecí môžeme teraz rozprávať, že o Slovensko, takže to bolo super.
A tvoja slovenčina je nádherná, si sa tu naučila, mamka s tebou hovorila po slovensky?
Áno, aj bábi, ona len po slovensky vedela, takže tak som sa naučila, ale ďakujem veľmi.
Takže keď si bola na Slovensku, tak si sa mohla so všetkými porozprávať po slovensky.
Áno, presne, čo bolo veľmi dobre, pretože Gita nevie po anglicky, takže som mohla sa porozprávať s ňou.
A keď ste celý tento film, ako dlho sa to natáčalo, ako dlho ste boli na Slovensku?
Na Slovensku sme boli 10 dní a 2 dní to bolo u nás doma. Tak spolu asi 12 dní. A čo bolo najviac na tom filmovaní, bolo, že dní boli od 7:30 ráno do 10:30 večer. A tie intervia robili potom, ako sme robili tie aktivity. A sedeli sme v izbe na maličkej stoličke a ani air conditioning nemohol byť zapnutý, lebo tam nesmie byť žiadny zvuk. Tak veľmi to bolo... No, neviem, v živote som niečo také neprežila, takže niečo také robiť a každý deň, 10 dní, nakoniec po 10 dňoch sme si konečne zvykli na to. Bolo.
A to je všetko, že realita. Takže všetko, čo nám povedali ten istý deň, to bolo presne naša reakcia, aká bola. Takže to bolo také, veľa to bolo.
A vlastne tá production company, oni boli nejako so Slovenskom spojení, alebo to je kanadská produkčná spoločnosť?
Áno, bolo to urobené Forte Entertainment, by Forte Entertainment. A to je kanadská spoločnosť v Toronte. A tá produkcia je kanadsko-americká. A ten seriál vlastne sa skladá z 10 častí a každá časť je z inej krajiny. Tak my sme boli veľmi radi, že sme mohli reprezentovať Slovensko, lebo je tam zo Zambie, zo Zimbabwe, z Mexika, proste z celého sveta. A ešte na to, že tá show len práve začala, ten seriál len začal, to je prvá sezóna a teraz bude aj druhá. Takže je to tam nejaký success. A veľmi je to pekné. Každý príbeh je jedinečný a každý príbeh je krásny.
A pre nás je to veľmi veľké, pretože ja mám aj kamarátky, čo ani nevedeli od Slovenska. Takže to tak ukázalo aj takých mladších, že Slovensko je tam, aj keď je taká malá krajina, takže veľa sa dá o nej naučiť.
A Kroti veľmi pristane, takisto aj tebe, Simonka.
Ďakujem, to prvýkrát mám kroj a tak sa mi to páči, úplne tancujem s ním.
Ako babika.
Ďakujeme pekne ešte raz a dúfame, že všetci naši diváci takisto si to budú môcť pozrieť aj v televízii a bola to naozaj veľmi pekná skúsenosť. Ďakujeme veľmi pekne.
My vám veľmi pekne ďakujeme.
Ďakujeme.
Ten film, ten seriál sa volá How I Got Here. je vysielaný na Super Channel Heart and Home. Začína to, už to vlastne začalo v Kanade, je to každú nedeľu. Naša epizóda bude 13. novembra o 9:00 na Eastern Time, ale je to available through Apple TV a ešte je to available aj z Amazon Prime. Dá sa to streamovať cez tých. V USA je to available na BYU TV, dá sa to streamovať. Je to teraz, keď pôjdete na BYU TV app, tak epizóda je tam aj ostatné epizódy, ale v Kanade je to na Super Channel.
Na Filmovom festivale Európskej únie 2022 sa tento rok premieta dokumentárny videodenník slovenskej režisérky Viery Čákániovej s názvom Biel na bielej alebo White on White. Anička sa porozprávala s Tomom McSorlem, výkonným riaditeľom filmového festivalu. Prinášame vám aj trailer tohto dokumentárneho filmu.
Hi Tom, welcome to the Slovak Spectrum.
Thank you for having me, Anne. Good to be here.
Tom, this year you have a very impressive lineup of films. Could you just tell us a little bit, since COVID, how has your method of selecting films changed?
Well, it's not really changed too much in as much as it's perhaps I don't travel as much to film festivals as I used to do. So, you go to Toronto, to Cannes, to Berlin, in person to see films on the big screen and all that kind of stuff and talk to people in the market. And now it's been 2.5 years of basically looking into this device I'm looking into now, the laptop, and seeing a lot of screeners and going to some virtual film festivals. For example, Cannes, Berlin, Toronto. Although in this past 6 months, I did go to Toronto in September in person. And a Whistler Film Festival last November. So there's been a kind of combination of watching stuff online and participating in festivals virtually, and then going to actual festivals and seeing stuff in the theater, which is way more preferable because, it's big image, it's big sound, it's more immersive. And that's what we have set up as our festival too. So yeah, it's been a funny thing, and you do get a lot of. It's very productive in a weird sort of way because you're not walking between theaters and stuff to see stuff. You're actually just watching it on your laptop, so you do get through a lot of material that way. I notice it's like, hey, I'm seeing 70 films instead of 50 in this way. So yeah, it's been a funny. For everybody, I guess, but for me too, in my strange job, it's been a funny period for selection. But to get back to your question, the actual selection process is very similar. It's just done in a different way, in a room that's different, rather than being in the south of France.
I'm sure that being in the south of France was also quite pleasant.
It was very pleasant, absolutely. I miss it. I miss it terribly. I hope I can go next year. In person to Cannes, because it is the most productive festival for our organization, because there's so many people are there from institutes around the world who do what we do, and also of course the selections are very important for us to stay current with. So yeah, hopefully next May of 2023 I can do a Zoom meeting with you from the south of France.
Oh, that would be nice. Can you take me with you?
Oh, sure. Yeah, we can do it together there. That sounds good.
So what adjustments did the film festival actually have to do in order to start offering the film online as opposed to in person?
Well, the first thing we have to do is get what is called the platform, a server that will host the festival. And there are a number of them. And it's interesting, the industry adjusted very quickly when COVID arrived to develop these online platforms, they're called, and we have one that we like, and it's very flexible. And we've done 3 or 4 festivals with it. We've done the EU festival twice. We did our animation festival with it 1 year. Twice actually. And then also with our international film festival, IFO, our first year was online only. So yeah, it's a funny thing for me, because as a curator and a presenter, you love to be in the theater or around the theater when people have seen the film and they come out. to get a sense of, whether they liked it or whether it was, an effective film for the festival. So when it's online, it's sort of this abstract thing where people buy tickets, you don't see them, they're out there watching it whenever they want, kind of thing. So it's a very unusual, alienating sort of process for me as a programmer, because I like the contact and the responses, and you get that in a live situation. Online, not so much. Yes, we have polls and surveys that people tell us this and that, but it's a very unusual thing for, and it's not unusual anymore. It's done all the time now, but yeah, it was a strange kind of adjustment to make, to think, well, I hope people like this film, and you just don't know, because.
How many countries are represented in this year's film festival, which is the 37th film festival?
Yeah, it is the 37th. We have all 27 European Union member states are participating this year, from the largest countries to the smallest. So everybody from Malta to Germany, where we have a film, which is great to have everybody involved. Last year, we only had 26. And so, every year is a little bit different, but we're thrilled when we get everybody. And we also have an additional treat this year, and it's a film from Ukraine. Called Klondike. It's a drama, and that's going to be on the last day of the festival, a special benefit screening to help the war relief efforts in Ukraine. So we have actually 28 films, and rather than 27. So yeah, it's great to have everybody participating.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, I was going to ask you if there were any countries that didn't participate, but it looks like you got a totally full participation and
Yes.
a nice lineup and everything else. So in this year's film, the Slovak is a documentary film. It's called White on White.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about the film itself, and also if you know anything about the actual director?
Yes, she's a really interesting filmmaker who makes kind of like diary films in a way, and she's also very interested in science and technology. And this is a kind of a diary film of her experience in Antarctica. At a Polish, it's a Polish observation station where she's doing research, and of course she's kind of filming her day-to-day activities, but also thinking about the role of technology in human life, and also in that environment, this incredible wintry landscape that she's moving through. So it's a very, very, I think, very philosophical film about technology and humanity, and the relationship between ourselves, our landscape or our environment, and the technological devices we have created. And that includes, artificial intelligence, that includes, monitoring systems for, monitoring the Earth's movements and stuff. So it's a really interesting film. And I would say it's more of a kind of essay film than a documentary, strictly speaking, although she does, here I am cooking and here I am going out into the snow. So it's a really interestingly, almost kind of exotic film about this faraway landscape that most of us have never been there. So it's a really great thing. And she's made an earlier film a few years ago called Frem, which was also in this vein. So she's taking her scientific inquiries into the cinematic realm, and I think it makes her really kind of spellbinding. I think it's about 75 minutes long, and it's interesting because we do have other documentaries in the festival as well. We try to have more than just fiction films, just to give people a different kind of film experience. And you might remember 3 years ago. I've lost track of time with COVID. In the Slovak film was called Freedom Under Load, and that was a very interesting documentary about mountain climbing. And so I think it's an interesting element of the Slovak cinema, is that it has such a strong documentary tradition. So that's we're thrilled to have White on White as part of the EUFF representing Slovakia.
Thank you very much for your participation in this. All the best in future films. The 37th festival is an impressive lineup. You've done, I'm sure, a lot of hard work trying to come up with this. I'm sure the Ukrainian component of it must have been a little bit challenging. Mm-hmm. So Congratulations again, and thank you very much for participating.
Thank you very much, Anne, and we'll see you at White on White.
Táto krajina je droga. Čistá, koncentrovaná, monochromatická droga. Niekedy ani nevidím, čo točím, pretože displej je čierny. Točím, lebo je to nejaký program dňa. Spôsob, akým urýchľujem disipáciu slnečnej energie. Mám pocit, že za chvíľu odletím aj s tou búdou. Neviem, ako zaspím v tomto vetre. Snívalo sa mi, že som fosília nejakej rastliny, ktorá existovala pred miliónmi rokov a teraz čaká zamrznutá v ľade na nový život. Tučniaci, túlenie, ľadovce v rôznom osvetlení. Keďže oni nemôžu vyslať vlastné správy, mám pocit, že ako hmota s vedomím mám voči nim túto povinnosť. Nepamätám si, že by som niekedy cítila taký pokoj. Na tomto mieste stačí proste len byť nažive.
Náš nasledujúci diel bude odvysielaný v nedeľu dňa 25. decembra o 11:30 a v reprízach v útorok 27. decembra o 17:30 a v sobotu 31. decembra o 11:30. Tento program je sponzorovaný Úradom pre Slovákov žijúcich v zahraničí a Kanadskou slovanskou ligou. Dovidenia na budúce.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line. Email us or connect with us on social media.
Everybody knows not to drink and drive, but some people still think it's okay to take drugs and drive. Police have the authority, the ability, and the tools to determine if drivers are impaired by legal or illegal drugs. And because drug-impaired drivers can pose just as great a risk as drunk drivers, they face the same penalties, like the loss of their driver's license, a criminal record, fines, and more. A message from the RCMP, the Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police, and Arrive Alive, Drive Sober.
On Monday's Daytime Ottawa, when it comes to gift giving over the holidays, there's nothing better than personalize something. And we're going to show you how to make a beautiful holiday card with Handmade by Sue. Also on the show, we'll introduce you to a local flautist who has